Hello everyone! So, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tracy Spina and today we're going to make butterscotch bars. Okay? So, for the ingredients, we're going to need 1/2 cup of melted butter, 240 grams of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of glucose, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon vanilla. For the dry ingredients, we're going to need 290 grams of all-purpose flour sifted, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon salt, and we're going to need 75 grams of chopped cashew as toppings. So let's start. So before you start mixing, make sure that you do your pan preparation. So from our previous videos, I'm still going to use the same pan, 13 by 9, and I've already oiled or greased my baking pan and then line it with parchment paper, okay? So this is very important to prevent the butterscotch from sticking at the bottom. And make sure that you have already preheated your oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? So let's start mixing. Okay, so I'm going to use this mixer to mix this, but when you're at home and you don't have a mixer, you can also do this manually, okay? So, let's first combine the dry ingredients. So, combine your flour, baking powder, baking soda, and salt and mix it well. Okay, and set this aside. Okay, so in your mixing bowl, combine your butter, melted butter, and add your brown sugar and glucose. So glucose is very sticky. So before you measure your glucose, make sure that you spread oil or butter on your mixing bowl that you're going to use to easily facilitate the pouring or the transfer of your glucose. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla and mix. And then add your eggs one at a time. So if you're using mixer, just use your first speed on your KitchenAid. And if you're using hand mixer, you can just mix this slowly and add in your final egg. Make sure that the glucose is well combined together with the sugar and the melted butter. Okay, and then add your dry ingredients. And as usual, remove first your paddle and mix it first by hand to avoid the flour from flying all over. So this recipe is very easy to make. We're almost done. So I'm just going to give it a final mix on the mixer. So maybe just for around 10 seconds. And if you choose to put your cashew inside your mixture, you can do so, but I prefer to put it on top. Okay, so let's transfer this to a 9 by 13 pan, and I've already preheated my oven to 300 degrees and bake it for 30 minutes. So I'm going to show you once it's done. Okay, so after 30 minutes it will look like this. So to check again, so make sure that it doesn't stick to your cake tester. and you will notice that the sides will be a little bit light brown. Okay, I usually scrape the sides immediately after taking out of the oven while it's still hot. You can also use an 11 by 11 by 2 inches pan here. Okay, 11 inches by 11 inches. And you will notice that sometimes the sides of your butterscotch bar is raised on the side. Okay, so that's normal. It's actually okay for me, but if you want to flatten it, you can use your cake leveler to press the sides a little bit to make it more even while it's still hot. Okay, so if you want to make it even, again, I'm going to cut this the same way I'm cutting my brownies and my Revel Bars. So if you want to learn how to do that, please watch my Food for the Gods towards the end video. But I'm not going to show it here anymore. Okay? So it's more flat that way. So I'm going to let this cool for a while and do the packaging later on. Again, this is how I pack my bars. So I have this box that I buy. I have already included in my other video about baking tips the size of the box I'm using. Okay, so again, a better idea for Christmas is do assorted pastry product that gives you a little bit of everything in just one box. Okay, so if you want that, you can refer to my other bar products like Food for the Gods, brownies, and Revel Bars to include in your butterscotch selection. For the costing of our butterscotch bars, we will be using a 9 by 13 inch pan, and we will divide it into 48 bars or 48 pieces. So for the costing, we will cost all ingredient one by one. So kung gusto nyong paano matuto kung paano gawin ito, meron akong video sa aking YouTube channel kung saan kayo ituturuan ng food costing, so you can refer to that. So for the total of the ingredients na ginamit natin, meron tayong 123.31. So i-divide natin yon ng 48 bars and we will have 2.60 per bar or per piece. So the total recipe cost for our butterscotch bars is 123.31. Gumamit din tayo ng mga ibang bagay, kagaya ng parchment, which is 2 pesos. I bought my baking cups for 58 pesos for every 200 pieces. So I computed only 48 pieces na ginamit ko, which is 13.92. For the box, my box cost 150 pesos for every 20 pieces, na lumalabas ay 750 ang isa. So I used 4 times 750, which is 30 pesos. Sticker times 4, 2 pesos, which is 8 pesos. So we have a total expense of 177.23. So i-divide ko yon into 4 boxes with 1 dozen each, kaya lalabas 44 pesos and 30 centavos or 45 pesos per box ang ating puhunan. So para establish naman natin ang ating selling price, dun sa aking previous video regarding food cost, tinuruan ko kayo kung paano gamitin ang food cost percentage in order to set or to compute our selling price. So for this recipe, I'm going to use 0.25% as my food cost percentage. So ganito lang ang gagawin natin. 45 pesos, di-divide natin ang food cost percentage, which is 0.25. So lumalabas, ibebenta ko ang isang box ng 180 per box. So meron tayong 4 na boxes, so lalabas na ito ay 720 pesos. Pero syempre, ibabawas pa natin dito yung ginastos natin sa kuryente, sa tubig, sa utilities natin, sa gasol, at of course, meron din dapat bayad ang ating labor. So, isiset ko yon again, base sa ating food cost na 177 or ni-round off ko na siya sa 178, i-compute ko yung 50% nun para makuha ko yung ibabayad ko sa sarili ko at saka yung ibabayad ko sa mga kuryente, gasol, at tubig. Okay? So, 178 times 0.50 is 89 pesos. So, pag nabenta ko na lahat ng 4 na boxes, 720 pesos, ima-minus ko yung other expenses, minus 89 pesos, at ibabawas ko yung pinuhunan ko sa pambili ng ingredients, which is 178 pesos. Kaya magkakaroon ako ng kita na 453. So, this is, malinis na to, na sa inyo mapupunta. Okay? So, i-assume natin na ang kita natin ay 453 per box. Kung tayo ay gagawa ng 2 box sa isang araw, tayo ay magkakaroon ng 906 per day. At kung tayo ay magbebenta tuwing Monday to Friday, 5 beses lang sa isang araw, tayo ay posibleng kumita ng 18,120 for 20 days. Alam naman natin na pwede pa tayong lumakas, depende sa kung paano tayo magbenta, at lalong-lalo na ngayong magpapasko, mas marami tayong magiging benta. Kaya take advantage na ngayong Kapaskuhan para makabenta at kumita ng ganitong halaga at pwedeng mas malaki pa. So imagine sa isang pan na 4 na box ay pwede kayong kumita ng 453, and kung makakabay kayo, pag nagsisimula pa lang kayo at nakakabay kayo ng mga 2 pans, kikita na kayo ng mga around 900. So kung nasasanay na kayong mag-bake at marami na kayong nagiging clients, pwede na kayong mag-increase ng inyong production. At kung kayo ay magpapatuloy na gumawa nito, lalong-lalo na ngayong Pasko, kung makakagawa kayo ng mga mahigit sa 4 na pan sa isang araw, eh ayos na kita na siya. So, depende sa inyo kung araw-araw kayo magbebenta or kung magbebenta lang kayo ng mga 5 araw para may off naman kayo ng Saturday and Sunday. Pero alam naman natin sa negosyo, kahit na hindi na tayo minsan magpahinga para lang kumita, lalong-lalo na ngayong Kapaskuhan, take advantage na natin para kumita tayo ng mas malaki-laki at makaipon tayo para sa mga susunod na araw. So kung gusto nyo pang matuto ng mga marami pang recipes na merong costing, abangan nyo yung mga susunod ko na videos, and if you have any questions, please don't forget to leave a comment dun sa baba, and don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. So salamat sa panonood, thank you for watching, and see you again.